am speaking today with David DiCerto, who is the Director of Programming Administration here at the Sheen Center in beautiful New York City. Thank you so much for being with us today, David.
Well, thank you for having me.
Tell me what y'all do at the Sheen Center.
Sure. The Sheen Center is actually named for Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen. So it's the Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen Center for Thought and Culture. It is a fully functioning arts center here in downtown Manhattan. It's a project of the Archdiocese of New York. And really, it's predicated on the idea that beauty and the arts can help transform society. I mean, throughout its history, the church has a rich history of being a patron of the arts, and we're really just trying to be an extension of that rich history.
That's beautiful. What are some of the programs that you have going on here? Sure.
We really have a full breadth of art programming, everything from live theater stage productions to musical concerts to film programming, and as the thought in the title suggests, we also have a lot of panel discussions. We have two state-of-the-art theaters. We have a large off-Broadway theater, which holds 274, and then we have a smaller theater, which holds about 90, which is an off-Broadway theater. And like I said, we've done everything from having Hollywood film premieres here to long-run stage productions to operas to dance recitals. You name it, we've done it here.
How can beauty and art draw us closer to God? You know, as Catholics and people who are pursuing a depth of faith, you know, how do we do that through the arts?
Sure. Well, you know, the church has always referred to what's called the three transcendentals: the true, the good, and the beautiful. If it's something is authentically true, if it's authentically good, or if it's authentically beautiful, it by definition is reflective of God. So, you know, I think Catholics or religious people in general might understand a little bit more about how truth and goodness reflect God. But beauty speaks to a different level, but it's also another way to understand and appreciate God in your life. We were actually lucky enough to have Bishop Barron here, who last year, and you know, when he was here, he really spoke about always leading with beauty. Because in our day and age, where sadly the true and the good are so hotly debated, the beautiful is really that opportunity for that last universal language. He uses an example of watching a beautiful sunset or walking into the Sistine Chapel. That really speaks to the mystery at the heart of everything. So that's really what we try to do here. You know, there are many people in our institutional video. Cardinal Dolan says something really interesting. He says that he created the Sheen Center because there are many people who will never step foot in a church, but they will come here. They will come here to see a great play or listen to a wonderful concert. And that introduction of beauty as starting that dialogue hopefully will surprise people that the church is engaged in this kind of ministry, and hopefully be a jumping off point for a much larger conversation.
Yeah, excellent. That's so true. Tell me a little bit in that vein about your role as a co-host of a show that talks about movies.
Sure. I am the co-host of a show called Real Faith, which airs on Catholic TV. A little disclaimer, I don't know if your viewers up in New England learn that I am a lifelong Yankee fan, if my opinions of movies will drop dramatically. But I've been a lifelong movie lover. And, you know, Pope John Paul II really said something interesting. He said movies are about more than just entertainment. They're really shapers of ideas and values. And I really believe that. You know, St. Ignatius Loyola always said to his missionaries, wherever you go in the world, learn the language first. And I think in our day, we're a very visual society. I think movie and television really are the lingua franca of our world. So I think in the 20th century, cinema had more church documents written about it than any other art form. You know, the church was really at the forefront of talking about movies really from the start of the motion picture industry. And numerous encyclicals and papal writings have really said it's a responsibility of Catholics to be cinema literate. And that's really what we're trying to do with the show, to really show that movies, well, there's nothing wrong with just appreciating movies for an entertainment value, but they really do speak to important questions, and it's also a wonderful way of talking about big questions and big issues in a way that's very accessible to most people.
Yeah. Can people have an encounter with God watching a movie, do you think?
It depends which movie. But no, I think My co-host on the show, Stephen Gradanis, who writes for the National Catholic Register, always says that at the end of the day, all truth is God's truth, all goodness is God's goodness, and all beauty is God's beauty. So if you encounter a beautiful film or a film that really touches on some truth or some goodness, through that you really are experiencing God in a very real, even if it's a very small way. Pope Francis, as a Jesuit, is always talking about, one of the mantras of the Jesuits are finding God in all things. So I think you can find God, in watching a film. And it really comes down to that idea of art. Again, the church has always been at the forefront of art. It's what we do with the TV show. It's what we're trying to do here with the Sheen Center. Pope Benedict has always said the two most effective tools that the church has for evangelizing are the saints that we inspire and give birth to, and the art that we create. And that's really what I think we try to do with the TV show, and that's what we try to do here at the Sheen Center.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, David, and keep up all the good work. Keep inspiring us to look for God in media, which is so important.
Thank you so much.